What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be reviewing the Wolf Cybertron Siege Lead Class Shockwave. That was in the wrong order, but I'm not going to change it. So, starting off with the head, it's beautifully detailed, lots of lovely moulding detail all around the eye, and the light piping on it, even though it goes through this tiny little slot here, it is just seamless. You don't even notice that it's not on, that it is on, and it just brings a lot of life to the figure. There's lots of lovely moulded in detail all the way around, all the way down the torso, especially on this window section, which is lots of lovely detail behind the clear plastic. And same going down the crotch area and down the legs. The feet also are really nice, picked out in silver. Lots of lovely detail going up the side of the figure as well, and he does have his rubber hose. And then going on to the back, it's pretty plain, but still really detailed, and you've got a hole for a stand there. And you also got the backpack, which is a bit hollow from the bottom, but it doesn't really bother me, and you can treat it like a jetpack if you want. So, also on the arms, he's got little Decepticon symbols. If they focus. There we go. I think that's focused. Nope, it has not. There we go. Lovely little Decepticon symbols done in silver paint. Now, for articulation, the head is on a ball joint, I believe, and it's got a fair range of movement. It can tilt from side to side. It can rotate 360, and mine's not too tight and not too loose, so that's perfect. The head can look forward that far and look back that far. The arms can do a full 360, at least on this arm. Not on this arm because obviously it's got attached to the hose. The arm can move out on this joint and then move out on the transformation joint as well. And there's a swivel here, and I think it's just over 90 degrees of bend at the arm. He also has a wrist swivel on both the normal hand and the gun hand. He also has a waist swivel there, and his legs can move forward pretty much all the way and back all the way on a lovely ratchet, and can move out all the way as well. There's also a swivel here which does a full 360 and 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And there's also a decent pivot at the ankle. Now, as for the Siege effect parts, he has one on each shoulder. For some reason he only has one on his waist, but oh well, that's not really a big problem because I don't have any of the effects parts, but if that bothers you, then you know. Also one on the leg, and I believe that is it in robot mode. He also has all these peg holes for cog parts and anything like that. Now, moving on to all these parts that you get with this figure that give it its lead class price point. You can turn them into power armor. So, like you just saw, you fold in these little wing bits and you peg his feet onto them using the peg hole on the bottom of his feet, which I forgot to mention. Then take these pieces, and that little peg there will go into the shoulder, and this little notch here will line up with that little tab there, and it will just slide on. And then it's the same on the other side. Just move the camera up a bit. Oh, something fell off the desk. There we go. Then for the backpack, you take this, fold it in, and then you just situate it over the top of the backpack, and these pegs here will line up with the peg hole there, like so. And then these bits you just kind of angle them however you want. And yeah, that's Siege Shockwave wearing his power armor. And this is pretty much all the stuff that gives it the lead class price point, and it doesn't hinder the articulation at all. It's a nice little addition. I'm not really that keen on it, but I'm just not really a big power up kind of guy. I tend to just use it in its stand form, which I forgot to show. It's on the back of the box, but not in the instructions for some reason. But so I'll quickly do that in a minute. Also, if you're wondering why this won't match up with the transformation bit, that's because I've had to do this bit after I've done all the other stuff, because I accidentally deleted the original introduction bit to it, so I've had to mix and match how I did this video. So if you're wondering why this bit doesn't match up with the next bit, that is why. So yeah, the added articulation this adds to it is these arms swivel, they bend at the elbow and at the shoulder, and then bend at the knee. So yeah, and then for effects parts it adds one there, and an extra tab there. And that's pretty much it for the power armor. So I'll quickly show you how to get them into get it into a kind of stand for shockwave. What you do is you take this, you fold out these bits again. Like I said, I think this is how you do it, but there's nothing in the instructions to tell you how to do it. So take these bits, you peg that onto there, I believe. Yep. And then this little slot here will go into there. And then these little bits at the bottom will match up as well. There we go. And then you just take these little bits and you peg that into there. And there we go, there's your kind of stand for shockwave. It's alright. For me, I always viewed it as a kind of like drone thing. It always looked like one of them to me, but yeah, it's a stand for shockwave, and him on there, and he'll stand on there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this mode. So then, yeah, down to transformation. Here you have the spaceship mode, aka it's just the Cybertron gun turned upside down. As a ship, it's not that bad, to be honest. You can kind of see how it works, and the bridge is very nice. It's like a little shockwave head, and it does actually have light piping, which is very nice. At the front, it's got the kind of typical shockwave gun muzzle, and like I said, it's literally, because obviously Hasbro can't really do a gun mode, even a Cybertronian one, because they don't really want to be associated with guns, I guess. But yeah, it is pretty much just the gun mode turned upside down, and you see this if you chuck in the landing gear, fold in the head bits, and then bring the hose and plug it in up front. And there you go, you pretty much have the shockwave gun mode, and it's a nice little fan mode. But what I like to do, well, not really fan mode, normal mode, which can be turned into a gun. But yeah, you still have all these pieces, and what you can do with them, I personally feel, is very cool. And I'm sorry, I forgot to do size comparisons, and I will do them in a minute, so I'll quickly do size comparisons. Here is Shockwave in his basic spaceship mode with Siege, Voyager, not Siege, Studio Series, Voyager, Bumblebee movie, Optimus Prime. So here he is, and as you can see, he's a fair bit taller than Voyager Prime. Here he is with Siege, Voyager, Megatron, and see, he's still a bit taller than him. And here he is with Deluxe Class Robots in Disguise, Transformers Prime, Lift Jumper. As you can see, he's a fair bit bigger than Deluxe in spaceship mode. So yeah, now to get him into his powered up spaceship mode, I guess that's what it would be called. What you do is you, oh by the way, one thing to note, on mine this peg is a little bit too small, so it doesn't really fit in there perfectly. I don't know if that's a reoccurring problem, I haven't heard about it anywhere else, but that's just something to bear in mind if it's wrong with yours. So you have to get into his powered up spaceship mode. What you take these bits, fold them out. You then take the front of the spaceship. You then fit the end of that over. You fit this piece over the end of the barrel, or whatever you want to call it, front of the spaceship, and you peg it in there. And then this is the bit I always struggle with because mine doesn't really work so well. There's a little tab on the underside there which fits into the slot there, and it's very difficult to get into it and is very, very scary because I do not want to break it. Because it really struggles to reach it. There we go. So you then clip them in, and then you clip these two bits together. Next thing you do is you take these pieces, you rotate it so the tab is facing upwards, and that will fit into the little slot in there, like so. And then you do the same with the other side. Then you take it, you line up that peg with that hole and that slot with that tab, and then they just fit in perfectly. Next bit you do is you take the feet sections, you fold out these fins, and then you line up that hole, and where is it? That little hole there with that tab and that little tab there, peg I mean, and you slide them together like so. And again it's the same on the other side. And here you have the powered up spaceship mode. Oh, almost got to flip this out again. And here you have the powered up spaceship mode, and I really like this. I think this is very, very cool. I like spaceship stuff like that. So this really, I really like this. I mean, it doesn't really work with the scale. I mean, he turns into a massive spaceship, so you can kind of imagine this as a little fighter, but let's be honest, it's a massive starship basically. That's what it's supposed to represent. It's got small little cannons on there. That's what it is. And this is just a beauty. There's so much detail on this, and I just love it so much. You can kind of still tell where the robot mode is in this, but it just looks so nice, and you just see past that. And if you can't tell already, I really like this. I wouldn't necessarily say it's worth a leader price point, and you'll see when I do robot size comparisons in a minute. That it's not a leader class scale, even with the power up parts, but I can see why it's worth that much money with the the power up parts, because it just looks so good with them in vehicle mode. Me personally, I display my figures in robot mode, but this would be something that I would perhaps consider getting two of, to have one in vehicle mode. And you can still plug it in on the stand bit, but I imagine that'd be a bit front heavy, so yeah. But still, it's a beautiful piece. Would I recommend this figure? Yes, if you don't have a G1 style shockwave and you're looking for one to go in with your other Voyagers, I would get this figure. The articulation on it is pretty good. All the modes look really nice, and it's just a really nice figure in my opinion. So yeah, that's my opinion on this leader class shockwave, and I'll stand them up like that to do size comparisons again. Here he is with Studio Series Voyager Prime, and as you can see, that adds a fair bit to his mass, but not so much to the height really. But you know, I mean, this bit gives it more height, but yeah. So that's him with Voyager Prime. He is with Siege, Wolf Cybertron Voyager Megatron, and see, makes him a fair bit taller. And then last but not least, here he is with Deluxe Cliff Jumper. So, yeah, that's lead class Siege Shockwave. And I'll quickly transform back and get him into robot mode for robot mode size comparisons, and I'll wrap this up. So yeah, here is Shockwave without all the power up parts on him. As you're about to see, he's not really lead class scale. Here he is with Studio Series Voyager Prime, and as you can see, he's actually shorter than Voyager Prime, so he's not really leader class. Again, here he is with Siege Megatron, and as you see, he's a fair bit shorter than Megatron as well. I'm not gonna lie, I do think this scale works, but again, he's not really leader class scale. And once again, here he is with Deluxe Cliff Jumper, and I think that works, but again, as you can see, he's not leader class scale. I mean, with all these extra bits, they contribute to the price quite a lot. At a lead class price point, I would say this guy is worth it. I love this figure, and the transformation is, in my opinion, is very enjoyable. I've done it so many times, and all the modes are lovely, so I would say that it is worth the price point, but just bear in mind that he isn't leader class scale. When you play leader class price point, you're paying for a Voyager and these extra bits. I'm not going to do a size comparison with him with power up armor on, because it doesn't really increase his height that much, it just adds about that much to it, so, and just adds some bulk. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Siege for Voyager Shockwave. Would I recommend this figure? As I said before, most definitely. I do really like this figure. It's beautifully crafted. However, like I've also said, if you're looking for Siege battle damage, stuff like that, he is missing that, and you're not going to find it in this figure. But it's just a lovely figure. I mean, even without the Siege line, I think it's a great standalone figure, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants a decent Voyager scale Shockwave, who just looks cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you didn't enjoy, feel free below detailing what you didn't like about it. And yeah, that's pretty much for this review, so I'll see you all next time. Bye.